Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Fun Astrology video podcast, the weekly overview that we do every week to take a look at some of the drill downs of what's going to be going on in the sky this week. I mentioned on the audio podcast that I'm bringing back the keywords. Now, that's going to more be on the audio podcast, but the keywords are really positive for this week. And you'll see in the chart, in fact, let's just go there now for Monday, that look at the red lines versus the blue lines. So the red lines are the more challenging aspects, and the blue lines are the easier, softer aspects. And you can see that it's about 3-1 or 2-1, or at least 2-1 more positive. And that's what the keywords you'll hear on the audio podcast, and encourage you to check it out. Comes out at 3 a.m. Eastern time every Monday through Saturday. And we'll be talking about those in there, but they were a lot lighter, just a lot easier this week. And as I mentioned on the audio podcast, a contrast to next week, which changes and becomes a little bit more difficult. So the bottom line is, let's enjoy this week as we have it. Now, what we're looking at here are, let's see, the chart is set to, first of all, 0 Aries. So this is the natural flow of zodiacal order around the chart. And it's set to noon on Mike time out here in California. So 3 p.m. Eastern, but we'll just go through these aspects as they occur through the week. So we've got Aquarius up here. Well, let's include the midheaven too. Why not? Don't leave it out. And what happens later tonight is Mercury enters Aquarius. So Mercury, of course, rules 2 signs. It rules Gemini, and it also rules Virgo. Or as Noel Teal said in his beautiful baritone operatic voice, Virgo. It rules Virgo. But it's an air sign, basically. Mercury, well, air and earth. It covers 2 different things. But here we're talking about Mercury moving into air. So things are going to become a lot more mental this week, basically, is what that's amounting to. And so if you start to think about, that's it. If you start to think, too much, okay, the risk is being in your head. So be careful of that and be aware that and of course, this very radical time that we're in could lead you into some thinking or some thoughts that might be a little bit too, let's just say, headstrong. Over what period of time? The next 3 weeks. That's about how long it takes Mercury to scoot through a sign. So it's not going to be for a long time, and it's going to be moving quickly. But as soon as it moves in, so basically tomorrow, it will hit Pluto, and then it will hit the sun in a couple of days. So there are going to be some pretty strong aspects with Mercury. And Mercury is one of the faster triggers in the chart. So you're going to have to watch out for some triggering activity this week with Mercury. All right. So just heads up on that one. And that really is kind of the big thing here for Monday. Now, Tuesday, notice we still have the same configuration. If you just look right in here, you see that we have more blue than we have red. So we're still in that positive kick for the week, still positive keywords for the week too. But now you can see we've got a big stack in Aquarius, and that is kind of the drumbeat right now. And remember, Aquarius is all about revolution. It's about new ideas. It's about don't tell me what to do. And it's also about technological revolution. And we're seeing all of that playing out right now. Keep in mind that these 2 guys, the Sun and Pluto, are still together in a conjunction. So that means that we're still feeling and experiencing a lot of that heaviness that you've been talking about. And Judy Diamond and I did a podcast, by the way, on subconscious mind mastery, where we talked about this very thing. We talked about the heaviness that's going on right now through, I think, primarily a lot of it. Well, it moved off of there, but a lot of it is that right there, the Pluto-Sun conjunction that still is strong, is why we're feeling a lot of that heaviness. Pluto is the lord of the underworld. It is about all the deep stuff in our lives. And now what do we have coming over? But Luna, the moon, is going to be crossing over it as well. That happens Tuesday afternoon at about 6 p.m. Eastern, and then it will cross over the sun at about 7:30 in the morning Wednesday. So between Tuesday night and Wednesday morning is when the moon will move on over and clear the sun. So that's going to be some delicate energy coming up Monday night and Tuesday. We'll be feeling it all day on Monday, all day on Tuesday. Then the moon will move out pretty quickly. Now, there's nothing going on Wednesday, so we go to Thursday, and Thursday is really big because look at that black S right there. Uranus is now moving forward again in the sky. Woohoo! Yippee-I-O-I-A, right? So the thing we have to consider about this is what is the difference between Uranus in retrograde and Uranus in direct motion? Well, Uranus in retrograde brings change, revolution, surprises within. Direct motion places it without or makes it more about out there. So if you think about like what has just happened in Los Angeles, the fires, so many people displaced. Well, that certainly is external, but also for them, it's very, very much internal. And isn't it internal for all of us right now, actually? Because we're all feeling kind of a heaviness in the air right now. So many people are feeling the angst and the anxiousness and the fear and the change and everything going on. And now with this big AI announcement, is AI going to take my job in the future? And just how much change are we going through here? Well, we're going through a substantial amount because we know the 5 outer planets are all changing signs between now and next summer of 2026. So, yes, Uranus moving forward. It also represents our hidden genius. So brilliance can come back to the table. It's like the inspirations that we've been looking for are there available to us again, where they've been muted in the past. Now, there's one other aspect. Let's look here. We have an 11-degree alert. There's Jupiter, that one. There's the sun, that one. They form a trine aspect exactly today, from air-based Gemini to air-based Aquarius. If ever there was a positive aspect for the whole week that we will be feeling every day this week, it will be building to the crescendo, which is Thursday evening, basically Eastern time, late at mid-afternoon in the Pacific time zone. But they will be in an exact trine, and we will be feeling that very positive, expansive, good luck energy through the week. And maybe that's why those keywords were so positive this week. And if you notice, I mean, I'm just looking at a broad brushstroke here, but still, red's catching up a little bit, but still tilting to the positive side. And actually, Thursday is the day. Now, if you look at all of this, Thursday is the day when those keywords started to shift toward next week's energy, which is more delusion and illusion, Neptunian kind of energy next week. This is the pivot day when they began to change. So, but look, enjoy this. We really need this kind of energy that we're going to be feeling this week. And Thursday is the big day. Uranus moving forward, yay. We're going to start to get some of that inspiration. And I really think now as Uranus starts to set its sights on moving into Gemini, that we are going to really experience a positive change as Uranus starts to move in that direction. And then also this very special trine aspect, the Sun and Jupiter amplifying good things in our life this week. Yes, we'll take it. And then for Saturday, the action is all right here in the sign of Pisces. Look at this. Venus conjoins both Neptune and the north node of the moon on Saturday. Now, Venus is happy in Pisces, right? It's exalted in Pisces. Neptune rules Pisces. It's happy in Pisces. The North Node, I mean, we've talked about bringing a spiritual flair, a spiritual attunement to all of this. Even though right now I think this is part of the heaviness that we're feeling, it eventually I think is going to work through. And a lot of that is what we release. What do we let go of? What are we willing to radically change with Uranus and even Jupiter in Gemini, I mean, which is a divided sign, we're still doing internal work here. So it's separating the wheat from the chaff is basically what this is doing. And with Venus hitting Neptune, watch for all week long again. We get this all week, and this is Saturday that we're looking at. we get spiritual inspiration. We get heightened spiritual activity. And even on the day, the moon, which also represents intuition and inner prompts and connection to the home office, our emotions, our subconscious mind. Look at the power of all of that. In fact, I'm going to clear all of this off just so that you can look at it. Look at this. I draw a big smiley face right underneath this because this is all about big time intuition. It's all about being happy. It's about being positive. Don't worry about this one. Just focus on the other ones. And it will be really, truly an inspiring week if you tune into that energy. So, wow, I hope that helps. It's going to be a great week. I think a lighter week for all of us, and we should lean into it and let's enjoy it and let's make the most of it. What are your key ingredients? Well, have some good, natural, organic chai tea handy. Have your journal handy. Stay in the connected prayer mode. Keep your channels open this week and really try to connect with Source and get our inspiration because we're going to be led through intuition. And this is going to be a great week to soak that up. I wish you the very best. I love to say on the audio podcast, I don't think I've done it enough on here, I love you. And we don't say that enough, especially on these videos. Where do you get somebody on YouTube saying, I'm sending you love? I truly do love you. And I thank you for watching. Have a great week. We'll see you on the audio podcasts, me and the girls, all week on the Fun Astrology Daily Podcast.